Welcome aboard Rocket Ship, the platform with the most relevant content for competitive examinations. This is Rocket Ship IAS Lab and continuing with our series on answer writing for General Studies papers of Civil Services main examination. We take up a question that you might come across in GS paper 3. Here goes the question. Green hydrogen has potential advantages over other green sources of energy. Analyze what initiatives have been taken to turn this potential into a reality for India. So as you can see, the question itself introduces the idea that green hydrogen has potential benefits even compared to other sources of clean and green energy. Then, in the second part, you have to talk about what initiatives have been taken by India to turn this potential, the potential of green hydrogen, into a reality. We are introducing our answer with, you could say, some pieces of general knowledge. That is, hydrogen has some key attributes that make it a choice for fuel. Mass for mass, it carries 3 times as much energy, that is almost 120 megajoule per kilogram, as petrol. So the point is, suppose you had to carry 1 kilogram of hydrogen over 1 kilogram of petrol. 1 kilogram of hydrogen has the potential actually to give you almost 3 times as much energy as 1 kilogram of petrol. Moreover, its only combustion residue is non-polluting water vapor, making it a clean source of energy. You can understand it very well that when you combust H2 in the presence of O2, it gives you H2O, that is water vapor. So basically the only combustion product of hydrogen is water vapor, that is considerably cleaner than carbon emission, carbon dioxide. Hydrogen is produced by electrolysis of water. It's a very important piece of information that hydrogen is produced by electrolysis of water, that is breaking water through applying electricity. This has till now stopped it from attaining commercial viability as electrolysis requires much electric power. You can understand very well, as electric power itself is expensive and electrolysis of water to produce hydrogen requires much electric power, that would mean hydrogen so produced expensive as well. However, with cheaper renewable energy, especially solar, electrolysis of hydrogen on mass scale is feasible. This has ushered into the era of green hydrogen. Whenever we are talking of green hydrogen, it is essentially the hydrogen that is produced using greener sources of energy, mostly the renewable sources of energy. So there is nothing you could say special about green hydrogen. It is just the same hydrogen, but that has been produced by electrolysis using greener sources of energy, for an example solar, wind, hydropower, etc. Experts point to advantages green hydrogen enjoys over other green fuels and renewables as well. What are the green hydrogen's advantages over other green fuels? Taking them one by one. It is available round the clock. There is no need for expensive batteries. Again, you can understand very well that despite all the developments in the, you could say, arena of green and renewable energy, they still suffer from the problem of intermittency. This is actually a term that is often used in the context of renewable energy, that they still suffer from the problem of intermittency. That is, they are not available round the clock, and therefore they have to be stored in expensive batteries. Even after all these technological breakthroughs, battery tech still remains quite expensive. But hydrogen does not have the requirement of batteries. That makes it you could say comparatively much more cheaper than the renewable energy. It is easy to tap and transport. Actually, it is quite easy to bottle hydrogen and transport it long distance. As we would see, that is unlike the case of renewable sources, for example, solar and wind, which require dedicated transmission lines. Moreover, green hydrogen is more suited for bulk carriage. Again, this is another technological breakthrough that has not happened. Actually, many people predicted that you could say in the near future, actually, when they were doing so, in the near future, electric power would mostly take over bulk transport. But that did not happen. Actually, petrol, diesel, and even green hydrogen are much more suited for bulk transport. For example, shipping, or for that matter, goods transport through railways. This is a very important point, that green hydrogen has other industrial usage as well. For an example, in cement, steel making, and moreover in organic chemicals. That means it has, you could say, much more demand, much more industrial demand, that makes the entire, you could say, green hydrogen economy much more viable. It becomes much more feasible because it has usages other than, you could say, basic energy producer. Actually, taking up these points in detail, unlike solar energy that is available only during sunny days, and wind power, which is even more erratic, wind power is even more unpredictable. You never know when wind would blow. And hydrogen is available round the clock. This obviates the need for expensive batteries. That is, there is no need for expensive batteries. That makes it commercially much more viable. Actually, it makes much more affordable. That makes it affordable for the average Joe, for the average person. Actually, green hydrogen can be carried as a liquid in fuel cells. On the other hand, solar and wind power require expensive transmission infrastructure and suffer from substantial transmission and distribution losses. That is called T&D losses in the technical term. For the technical term that we use is called T&D losses. However, we would like to point out that with the, you could say, development of new technology, for an example, HVDC, that is high voltage direct current, it is called high voltage direct current technology, it is possible to transmit solar and wind power as well to long distances without substantial losses. That means HVDC would certainly add to the viability of sources like solar, wind, etc. Green hydrogen is preferred for heavy duty usages. Hydrogen itself, and certainly green hydrogen, is preferred for heavy duty usages. This makes it ideal for rail freight, traffic, shipping, etc. Hydrogen has industrial application going beyond a source of energy. Industries as diverse as organic chemicals, fertilizers, cement, and steel making. All of these are industries which have, you could say, huge cases for hydrogen, especially green hydrogen as well. This also presents the prospect of reducing emission from industry. So basically, what it means that the using green hydrogen in these industry would reduce their carbon intensity. ठीक है ना? Now, coming to India's plan to turn the potential of green hydrogen into reality. India is a pioneer in realizing the potential of green hydrogen. Actually, this is one of the few areas where we can be considered forerunners. Anyway, the National Green Hydrogen Mission was launched in the year 2023. The mission provides for financial incentives, research and development, and training manpower to achieve 5 million ton per annum production by 2030. So green hydrogen mission, the National Green Hydrogen Mission, talks about financial incentives, research and development, and training the manpower to realize the potential of 5 million ton per annum green hydrogen production by the year 2030. This is a very, very important piece of statistics, and we would advise you to note it down in your running notes right now. Then the public sector undertaking NTPC Green Energy Limited has established green hydrogen hub near Vishakhapatnam. This is first of such hubs planned under NGHM, that is under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. There are a number of green hydrogen hubs planned, the first one of which is has been established near Vishakhapatnam. This project is actually quite important. It is expected to attract investment of almost 1,80,000 crore rupees, or almost $20 billion. And you can understand very, very well that this huge investment would generate large number of high skilled, good, well paying jobs for Indians. Then Indian Railways has successfully run trial of world's most powerful hydrogen train, that is almost 1200 horsepower, between Jind and Panipat in Haryana. These are two places in Haryana, and the Indian Railway has actually successfully run the trial of 1200 horsepower green hydrogen run locomotive between these two places. Now, the conclusion we are drawing that supplemented by industrial demand, this is actually, you could say, game changer for green hydrogen. That is, there has some industrial demand as well, apart from its use as basic energy source. So, supplemented by industrial demand, green hydrogen will be a viable alternative to other green energy sources. Basically, all of these green sources do have some advantages, and most of the experts do expect actually that all of these sources, all of these green energy sources would actually thrive at the same time. But green hydrogen has its own advantages over the other sources of energy, especially due to its demand from the industrial sector as well. So this was all for today. We would bring you another lecture in a few days. As usual, we wish you all the best. Thank you.